Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tabletop Bob. My name is Bob. I'll be your Dungeon Master for tonight as we play Curse of Strahd. What's up, everybody? Or should I say, what's going on?
Hello.
How are we doing?
What's going on?
Was that song on or something
I
upstairs?
was gonna say, what's with the earworm?
What's going on? What's up? The song, What's Up, by Four Non Blondes, has been one of my children's favorite songs for the last couple months. I don't know exactly what spurred it on, but last summer they watched a Ninja Turtles movie, and it's featured in like the chase scene, and but it's like the meme version, you know, like the He-Man version.
Okay.
But
Sounds
it's the Ninja Turtles. It's fun. It's for kids, whatever. And all of a sudden, like a month and a half or 2 months ago, they were like, "Oh, I want to play that song." So I was like, "Okay, we'll do it." So we've been listening to it all the time. We were just listening to it, and I have it in my head now. Got to put the light on here. See?
Yeah, it was really nice to hear you sing, Bob.
Hey, I won't bore all of you. I mean, it's a natural gift. Anyway, speaking of singing, Stefano, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Nice.
I had a performance for the
Yeah,
board meeting today. Yeah.
that's so cool. Yeah, Stefano, obviously, we know is a music teacher. Awesome play this year. Awesome play.
So good.
Yeah, it went well. It was good stuff. And then I got to poach some food off of him.
Did you really?
I did.
Oh, some good food, I bet.
Oh, it was great.
What's your post performance go to? What's your thing? 'Cause I'm
Oh,
sure you eat
that-
after your performance, right? You're probably like starving.
Yeah, I certainly after my Ridgefield shows, we always go out and I don't know, like French dip, like
Oh,
poutine.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's always like some like good stuff.
Oh, juice.
I need like sauce and like gravy and just give me just a whole bunch of junk.
All right, so let's stick on this topic here. What's like? I guess we could call it like your, I wouldn't say cheap food, because if you constantly eat whatever you want, like me, there's no such thing as cheap food. But what's that like thing that you go to after maybe? For me, I definitely like if I do some hard work, you know, I like exercise or yard work or something. I just devour whatever is I come in, you know, come in to eat. I devour whatever it is. But if it were up to me, and I could just have anything I want, hibachi, so good.
Oh, man, I haven't had
Good
hibachi
choice.
in years.
I went on Friday. It was so good.
Yo,
Yeah.
Tabletop hibachi
Mm.
stream.
we should play
is-
D&D on a hibachi grill someday. That would be.
Just watch all our minis melt. Just like,
Oh no.
I want to see him flipping into people's mouth. You know,
oh man, the
Yeah.
minis
all of it, the whole thing, the dice, the
from
minis,
Dice.
all of it.
What about you, Tim? What's your go-to cheat meal?
Go with a milkshake. I'm a big ice cream guy. So if I'm driving home and it's been a long day at work, there's like a Carvel on the way home, and I just love a good milkshake.
I could see that. You're like a dairy guy, right? Like ice cream.
I'm a huge dairy guy, man. I went to
shakes, yeah.
Yukon too. We had like the dairy bar. Like I used to crush Yukon milkshakes quite often.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Andrew, what about you? What's your is there a British dish or is it just the American food's probably better, right? Come on now.
Well, yeah. I just really love Five Guys. I can
Really?
eat all the Five Guys. Burger and fries. You can't beat a burger and fries.
You're kind of right. It's hard to beat a burger and fries when it comes to like, greasy cheat food. It's
Right.
it's a staple, an American staple.
I had something called a hangover burger at Captain Lawrence Brewery the other day. It was
Oh, wow.
awesome.
That the egg.
Yeah, it had the egg, like really thick cut bacon,
Mm.
some sort of aioli. I don't know. It was freaking awesome.
I feel like that's always like the egg burger thing. That's like a thing. It's like the hangover. I don't know. I'm not an expert in this. Does that cure the hangover?
I didn't have a hangover. I just wanted the burger with all the crap on it.
I'm sure that's what
Nice,
does it, right?
We're below the bars. All the greasy food was what we used to cure hangover. It was a fried egg on a burger. It was like fried chicken, fries, whatever you eat. Fried food helps hangover.
Mm. Yeah. Fried egg sounds good. Michelle, what about you?
Beer helps the hangover.
Beer. There you go.
Yeah, like one beer.
Michelle, what about you? Oh, that's right. Michelle, we didn't notice last week, but some of our viewers did. Michelle's reaction to some of the tragic events was very stoic, stone-faced, you might say. So we have to address, obviously, Michelle, we said wouldn't be back here again this week. But that's okay because Dione has taken a little diversion from the group. And
Yeah, I was confused because she was supposed to take Irina home, but
You're right.
Irina was not home. She was there.
you're
So
right.
where is Dione? What is she doing? She's
You're
doing
right.
something nefarious, I reckon.
And now I would never take a player's agency away. So Michelle and I we had some conversation about what would happen to her character, and this was what we came up with. So, yeah, she has disappeared. Dione is gone. Irina did not see her. We'll pick back up the role play when we get into the game for a second, but before we jump into the recap and go to grayscale and all that stuff, couple of shout outs, couple of things to mention here. Number one, Viral is, oh my God. If you don't watch Call of Cthulhu, like I get it, it's not your thing. You're here for D&D or you play D&D. I get it. But Viral, which is going on Wednesdays, it's a limited series event. It's only going to go for about 10 episodes, maybe 11, somewhere 10, 11, 12 episodes, maybe max. And they just had episode 5. So they're about the halfway point. It's awesome. If you haven't watched it yet, you really should tune in. It's easy to catch up on. There's, like I said, there's only a few episodes, and it's really not that much of a commitment. And the role play has been stellar. Unlike this group, they can actually role play. It's really, really great. And check the Discord too, because Viral, they're posting in the Discord like Andrew did in our Discord. Isn't that fun?
Oh,
Look at that. Andrew posted another Rufus's journal, which they become a fan favorite now. Lots of people responded to this one. Andrew, I don't know if you saw it. It looks really good. It's I see the progression of Rufus. So if you don't know what we're talking about here, go to the Discord in the Curse of Strahd as well as the Viral section. Any current campaign that we're doing, you'll see that it's got the incentive is inspiration for D&D. So Andrew, you're back up to I think 3 inspiration, right?
Yeah, and I needed it. If I didn't have that, I would be a dead Rufus.
Yeah, actually, it's very important that you did because you
I
lost
failed. I lost
almost all your death saves, right? You're at 2?
I lost. I were at 3, but then I had inspiration. I rerolled.
That's right. Yeah, so let's jump into the recap. Oh, and I had one more. We had a new Patreon member join this month, the Situationals. So welcome, Situationals, joining the Beholder Bob tier. If you want to check out how to support the channel, check it down below in the description. You'll also see links to any documents, things like that. Our house rule document, which I did update. Also, our children's guide, which is the the guide for all the children. I put rest in peace for
Milovash. He wasn't a child.
He wasn't a child.
I mean, he was,
He was
like
like
16.
17, right?
Yeah.
He was a reasoning adult, and he just made poor choices and didn't like his consequences.
Especially in this like kind of Victorian era area. He was like, he should have
He was
been married
essentially
with
middle-aged.
kids at that point.
A young adult.
Yeah, young adults. Yeah, 16, 17, kind of like a adult at this point in Barovia. But still, nonetheless, we put him on the children's guide, and now we had to delete him from the children's guide.
He'll
Just
do what
like
he can.
Laurent deleted his mind.
Well, you know,
Sort of.
he should have been off the children's guide to begin with. So
He was a
it worked
bad
out. It
guy.
worked out in the end.
He
He's
was a
not there
bad
anymore.
guy.
That's what I'm saying. He was a bad guy anyway.
Laurent was trying to fix inconsistencies in the guide.
There you go. He was just
He
trying to
loves
fix the
everybody.
guide. Let's jump into the recap then. So, recap wise, last week we really had one focal point. It was the coffin maker shop. You approached the coffin maker shop. You snuck in the back door. You broke in. Dione, as you were exploring the coffin room, the kind of like the coffin warehouse, basically. Dione said perhaps it'd be best if she got Irina and some of the people out of there. They kept away from the streets because otherwise it would be obvious that you're there. So she went and took Irina back to the home. Little did you know that Dione slipped away under the cover of night. The rest of you explored the house. You searched through. You found a workshop. You found some back rooms, but no coffin maker till you approached the upstairs. Using a silence spell, you snuck up on the coffin maker, Henrik van der Voot, and once you got up there, you realized he was asleep. I mean, it is late. It's night, right? You came there at nighttime. He's asleep, and he was moaning and dreaming. Looked like he had maybe a nightmare, a night terror. In the back room, though, the attic, the storage room, there were tons of crates labeled junk on them. Oh, but they weren't junk. They were filled with vampires. 6 vampires launched an attack on the group. You were not only woefully outnumbered, but severely outmatched. You realized after doing like 60 or 70 points of damage to one of them that they were still standing. Quickly, the plan became to run until you could not run. Both Rufus and Laurent, at certain points, were taken down to 0, unconscious, and then to your rescue, through the window, stormed Rictavio, the traveling troop master. He seemed to have some proficiency fighting these creatures, but allowed you to escape. Luckily, like Rufus said, he had just enough luck, just enough inspiration to make it out of that one alive. And then I think actually Canas came in huge, healing people from a distance. That kept, I think, Tim from really dying. It's very possible that without Rictavio, without Canas, that it was, and the inspiration, that we would have had 1 or 2 player deaths, without a doubt. Canas might have lived. He might have gotten out. But I think the rest of you were in serious trouble.
I also went down actually at a point, and I think Rufus brought me up.
Yeah, I had like to. Yeah,
Oh, you
once
used
you were
that
stabilized, and I
attack,
healed you. When
the
we're
attack
outside.
where you could siphon like healing. or
Oh
something.
yeah, that's right. I gave you a bunch of hit points.
Was that your channel
siphoned.
divinity?
I channeled divinity on one of the
Mhm.
vampires. I used some of the vampire's essence to raise his hit points when he was down.
I remember that now, yes.
Yeah, I think my first attack was like a critical with the guiding bolt, and
Oh,
he
yeah,
didn't
you got,
die.
like,
He didn't die, and I
48.
was like,
Yeah, you got like 48 hit points, and I'd already taken like 13 off him.
yeah.
And we were like, he's not feeling as well as he was. But
It was bad.
we were like,
It's
okay,
time
that's
to-
6 of these guys.
Time to
It was
go.
bad. It was dire. It was not going to be good if everything didn't work the way it did. The rolls, the inspiration, Canas healing, Rufus healing. It was a team effort to get out of there. And once you did, you found Irina in the street, Dione to be gone, and you're rushing towards St. Andrew's with the bones that Henrik van der Voort had given you.
Now, didn't Vandervoort at a certain point also invoke the name Vasily?
Yes, I have it written down.
I'm surprised that
Good.
none of you mentioned it when it happened, but yes, I believe he did. In his night terror, he said the name Vasily.
Well,
I've heard of Vasily. Who's Vasily?
your
Who's it?
favorite character,
Doctor, yeah.
Dr. Vasily.
Oh, we should pay him a visit.
You were just
Not
at his
Von
house.
Holtz.
You were just at his
Vasily
house.
von Holtz.
And in
Can't
what
trust
re-
anyone.
In what regard did he use his name?
He just
He was
like said
apologizing.
it. Yeah.
Apologizing to Vasily.
Yes, he said
Yeah.
like Vasily, I'm sorry in the night terror that he had. So, with that, why don't we jump into Grayscale? By the power of Grayscale.
Oh no! All
Here we
the colors
are.
just drained from my face.
It almost feels like we're home, doesn't it?
Yeah,
does.
I love
Feels
it.
nice.
It does. All right, everybody. Take it away. You are under the cover of a near full moon, running through the streets late at night in Vallaki. You just turned down an alleyway through some homes headed towards the center of town. What do you want to do?
We must go to the church. Return these bones quickly.
Okay, I'm going to bring up our map here of...
St. Andrew's.
Yes, St. Andrew's, yep. I'm going to bring up the map. One thing that bothered me last time, and I don't know if it came through as a... like I was annoyed, but if anybody has ever used Microsoft Edge, you know it's not the best thing, but I kind of have to use Microsoft Edge because when I use D&D Beyond, which, you know, we're playing 5e, I like to have D&D Beyond up for, you know, characters and things like that. And then when I click on their token, it'll translate into Roll20, right? However, if you have 2 Chromes up, it doubles all the rolls. And I realized that when we played, I forget which campaign it was, but it was a long time ago. Maybe it was Icewind Dale. No, I don't think we used D&D Beyond for that. It was whatever. It was maybe Wild Beyond the Witchlight or something, or Keep on the Borderlands. But I was so annoyed with how that always rolled doubles. I would be like, all right, we'll take the first one. But when you have a lot of vampires attacking, and you have a lot of things going on, it's annoying to have to like scroll and be like, what was the first one? What was the first one? So I had that up by accident last time. Chrome. Not Edge, which I despise Edge, but you need to have 2 separate browsers for doing it. So anyway, I don't know if anybody else saw that, but I was getting annoyed because I hate the duplicate rolls, and it was doing it to me all night long.
I thought you were on edge.
That's good, Andrew. Thank you. I appreciate that. Good. Well, I'm glad. I'm not going to be on Edge tonight because we're on Edge. All right, let's begin. Oh, we don't have our map up. Duh. Here we go. Now I'm getting on Edge. Come on.
Yeah, just drag that bookmark.
I actually solved that problem too, Stefano. I moved all the maps to the first row, so I don't have to scroll down anymore. The ones that were pertinent, you know, that would be possibly coming up.
Right.
So
of course, we're still not on the map, so I don't know how much he solved it.
There we go.
All right. So the party is traveling this way towards the center of town. You've ducked into some alleyways, and now you've made it to the main crossing here.
Wait. Should
Yeah.
we go the center of town route?
That's up to you.
We're not exactly.
You can move the token, right? I think I gave you access to it.
We're not exactly
Yeah, you should be able to use it.
number 1 people here. Can we?
Hmm.
But maybe we don't want to. I would like to avoid the blue water. Can we go this way? What do you think about this way, gang?
I don't see which way. Oh, I didn't see the way you went.
I think
Oh,
I think you're
yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
going around and then around the back.
Yeah.
Through this like cul-de-sac and then okay, I'm
Yeah,
on board with
yeah.
that. Yeah.
That's fine, but
And up
let's
here.
let us move with some haste, just because it is
Mhm.
dark.
Perhaps
Okay,
And,
so you're gonna go south, kind of around where the burgomaster's town is, or
Yeah.
townhouse is.
Mhm.
Okay. So the last
Well,
time you were at the burgomaster's house, well, we're not gonna expedite this, everybody. You think you're just gonna get there scot free? Come on now.
Well, we're not going to go past the burgomaster's house. We're going to go.
I mean, it
Oh.
looks like we are.
Oh,
I was
you're
gonna-
not
I was
taking
going to
the.
put us here.
Oh, you're cutting across the green here.
No.
Oh, we're going through the houses.
Let me draw a little line. How
Draw
do I
the
put
line. Draw the line.
Line you draw. Freehand. Here we go. What about that way?
Yeah, we'll pass the burgomaster.
You'll pass the burgomaster's house.
Isn't it here? Isn't this the burgomaster's
Right
house?
here. Yeah, that's it. That's it. This is like his driveway.
Oh, I see. Here's his driveway here.
Yeah, it's like it's an estate, you know.
All right.
It's
The last time you were-
Bob's gonna screw us no matter what.
We'll be fine.
The last time you were at the burgomaster's, you came there uninvited. You not broke in, but you broke up the Festival of the Blazing Sun preparation party, where the lady of the house was crafting these wicker baskets and orbs that would be used and burned as effigies during the
You were
festival.
using some strong words there.
You don't know what a wicker basket is?
No. We
Oh.
came in uninvited and ruined their preparation.
We didn't do that. We just went and spoke to her.
We were just
She
having a
was
nice time.
incredibly kind to us. She even
I'm not
wrote us a
saying-
nice note.
I'm not saying she
crazy
was
and
upset.
disturbed.
I'm not saying she was upset, but you came in uninvited.
Yeah, but so did half the town. The whole town were coming in and out stealing stuff.
Those were
She
her.
she welcomed us. She was like, "Oh, more guests. I'm so happy."
Those were her good friends, her few close personal friends.
And then we became her newest close
Yeah,
personal friends.
She wrote us a letter of
She did.
recommendation.
Yeah. Excellent.
She loves us. So just remember all that as you continue to
Fair enough. So you pass through the burgomaster's mansion on the road. You pass it from the road. And you notice something. You notice that up above in the what looks like maybe the attic or the top level, you see flashing lights. Blue, purple, green. Kind of like in a irregular pattern, like almost like a burst of color. I mean, the windows are certainly closed. The shutters are blocking most of the light, but it's unmistakable.
I don't know what's going on there, but let's go to the church quickly, I think. What
Yeah,
do you think?
that is our top priority. Is get these bones back.
Fair enough.
we've
And
got
we
to
cannot get sidetracked again.
we've got to protect the town and get on Father Lucian's good side again.
Mm-hmm. I just got to let you know that, yeah, Cam W in the chat, rave night at the Burgomaster's. Yes. I had to let you know he's into raves, okay?
Now we know where Dione went.
Yeah. Listen,
Didn't even tell us. Come on.
somebody commented recently, like within the last day or two, on one of the other videos. I think it was episode like 12 or 13. And the comment was just like, dear God, the amount of choices the party has to make in this campaign is astonishing.
Yeah,
And it's always the wrong one, no matter what we do.
Yeah, and every time we have a fight, we get our butts kicked. It's...
Well, there's a lot of choices, certainly. You've had some victories, though. You have had some big victories.
Oh, yeah, we earned Wizards of the Wine.
Wizards
we
of
were
the Wine.
amazing.
We beat
You
those
guys
hags and
crushed
got
it.
some moon pies.
we did.
We
We
kind of
saved-
ran away from the hags.
We saved Anna, even though that bitch at the orphanage doesn't like us.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a win-win.
But that's a win. That's a
something.
win. You've befriended Vasily. That's a win.
Well, I mean, not anymore.
I'm sure he's a great guy. Let's go to the church now. All right. You approach St. Andrew's, and like I've described before, this is an old church. It's got that bulging steeple. However, today, even though this place looks like it's, ancient essentially, there's slightly a cheery exterior as you can see decorations being set up. Candles are lit in the windows. You can see that there's sort of like a what's the word for I'm looking for here? Like a garland, maybe something like that around the door.
Garlands.
It's not Christmas, but
Okay.
but you look in and you can see the door is wide open to the church, and it's late, but it's like maybe like in the 10 o'clock hour. There are people
Were we
there.
just there like an hour ago?
Yeah, not an hour ago. You were there before you went to Vasily. You talked to Angelica. There was the mass that was before the
Okay.
feast. But it's not packed like a mass. The mass is done, but it looks like many people are stuck behind and they are waiting or helping put up decorations. Inside, you can see what looks like the preparations of a feast. There's foodstuffs being brought in, tables being set up throughout the pews and upwards towards the altar. Maybe 10 or so commoners, in addition to all the children that you know, like Freak and Myrtle. They're there. You also have Yeska, the altar boy, and Father Lucian standing upon the
Is
altar.
Milovage there?
Yeah, Milovage is there. He's back. Back from the
He's
dead.
back.
Only in spirit.
He's back from
What
the dead.
about Sirota and Bradomir?
Bradomir
Oh,
is...
Bradomir is the groundskeeper.
Yeah,
Oh,
Bradomir is the...
Sirota, Quinn, Dutch, and Alfalfa.
First
Are
of all,
they there?
those are orphans from the orphanage, and they're still in the orphanage.
Okay, fair.
So
still
they're
there,
not
but-
here. But
Father
Bradomir-
Lucian is there.
Father Lucian is here, as well as 10 other commoners. They're setting up the decorations for the feast.
Father Lucian.
Shh, shh.
Father Lucian.
Please don't yell his name out in front of everyone.
Everyone stops and turns, looking at you entering the church.
Father
Father-
Lucian.
Oh my
Ah,
goodness.
my angels.
Yes, we have.
We
Something
have-
for you.
We have we must speak with you urgently in private.
Who's holding the bag?
I
Not
think
me.
I think I was
Yeah, you were holding it.
because I think
All right,
I
so
grabbed it.
Do you have it like just presented or slung over your shoulder, or where is it?
Would it fit in my pack?
No. Or
Okay.
I don't assume so. Maybe with your other gear. What are the things you carrying in there?
I'd have to let you know. A crowbar and a hammer, an oil flask, water skin, tinderbox, flask of holy water, 3 wooden
you-
stakes.
So you want to keep the sacred bones of Saint Andral in the same bag as oil and a
can we
crowbar
please-
and
Keep them in our. In
I got
their original
I got
bag.
all these like side pockets. All right. Well, what does this bag look like? Is it
It's like a-
rattling as I walk?
It's
a
a
rattly
burlap
bag.
sack full of bones. It ain't
a
gonna be
burlap.
quiet.
Yeah,
Then
exactly
I'm,
as Tim
all right,
described
then
it.
I'm holding the sack. Yeah.
Okay.
Can't believe I lost my crowbar. I don't even have a crowbar.
I'm not dangling it like this. Father
Shaking
Lucian.
you like a maraca. We're like, yeah.
now. That's what we've got.
His eyes dart quickly to the bag, and he says, "Everyone, continue working. The church has never looked so beautiful. Saint Andral's will be hosting quite a crowd tomorrow. We need to be prepared." And then he looks to you and motions
Yes.
to the back
We have-
room.
We've come to bring more materials for the feast, of course, of course.
Angelica comes up to you and she says, "Oh, this is wonderful. Foodstuffs? Shall I bring it to the table, to the dais?"
No, it's just extra foodstuffs for Father to bring out after the celebration of the mass. You know.
Oh, I'll take it
not-
from you. I will
No,
unburden you.
really, we it's
okay.
delicate. It's like a souffle. If you handle it too roughly, it collapses inward on itself. It's delicate hands.
And I see you wearing a lovely outfit, Angelica. You've
All right.
dressed specially.
Why, thank you, Rufus.
I
Did you
sneak
know?
by while he's flirting with her.
Not that I'm
Did you know,
distracted.
Laurent, that one of my expertises is souffle?
That's so funny. I wish you told us before we had made ours. But now it seems like it's simply too late, and I would hate for.
Tell
honestly,
me what is.
I'm a bit competitive. I hate to lose credit to you to our souffle.
Tell me
It
a
is-
recipe. I would love to hear it.
It is very strange that we have chosen souffle, which is well known for it needs to be eaten as soon as it is finished baked. But
Maybe it's a.
let's move on.
I misspoke. It's actually a flan.
Yes.
A flan.
She's like, "What is that?" Never heard of
Well,
that.
don't worry. It's very delicate, and I need to hold it in my own hands.
Exactly.
Okay.
You fold the eggs instead of whip them. That's the tricky part.
Souffle. All right, so she will, distracted by Laurent and Rufus and Canas, you enter into the back room. I actually have, I created a map. I'm going to share it with you all.
A map.
Darn it. That means bad things are going to happen.
That's not good.
No, this is, maps are not bad, everybody.
Maps mean fights.
Move yourself into the building.
Boy.
Yeah, there you go.
Aha.
So this will be available on the Patreon with the map tier level, the Beholder Bob level. I post that at some point. But I realized that the Curse of Strahd, I could have swore that when I ran this before, there was like a blank map for a church for St. Andrew's. There is not. and so I felt like I would create one. So there you go. So you can see here, it looks like all of the materials for the feast have been presented at the altar. There's decorations being hung. Again, like about a dozen people in here doing all the decorations. Father Lucian will take you into his back office here. Just so you can see, I'll take Rufus, or no, I'll take Canas for a second. I'll bring you over here. This is the makeshift room that he is now set up. This was like his back room, his storage room. He's set it up for the kids. So it's got some beds and some storage for the kids, and he's kind of made this spare room their room. So Freak and Myrtle and
no one.
Was it just the two of them?
Just Freak and Myrtle.
We can dump
Freaking
what's his
Myrtle.
face in there.
No
We can
more
dump-
Milovage.
We can dump Mika in there now.
Milovage
Yeah.
did not sleep here, though.
Okay.
But anyway. All right, so you enter into the priest's quarters. And in this room, this is where you first met, and you first talked to him, where he called you his angels. And he says, "Could this be? Have you delivered?"
Show him, Canas. Show him.
I just give him the bag. Open it.
You can see his hand extend out, and it's like shaking, trembling as he grabs it. And his eyes light up with joy as he sees the bones of St. Andral that he has lost. You see tears welling up in his eyes. And he says, "I cannot thank you enough. This is incredible. I never thought I'd see them again."
Henrik Vandermort took them.
The coffin maker?
Yes.
Very same.
With Milovage's help.
Milovage.
Milovage must have found, he must have found that you know about them.
Well, I hope you
Somehow
didn't.
they entered an
I hope you didn't
alliance.
scare Milovage, because he's supposed to be here tonight, helping us, and yet he is absent. Have you
Didn't-
confronted him about this?
Didn't we already have a conversation with him and he was freaking out because he heard he was hurt?
Oh yeah.
I think yeah. I don't know. I think Father Lucian is not
He
super
must
thrilled
be
with us right now.
really unwell.
Father Lucian might be very unwell. He also said he wants to present the bones, but
Milovage
Earlier
is
he
probably
told
also
you-
unwell. That's why he's not here.
earlier he told you that no one knows where the bones are.
Milovage's mind broke. He fell down. Died.
I think it was probably the guilt of stealing
The guilt. He
bones of
couldn't,
St. Andral.
couldn't live with the guilt.
Couldn't live with the guilt. Simply could not live with the guilt.
He sits down on his bed.
Thankfully, our two contacts that you thought were the ones who stole the bones are the reason we were able to get them back.
He mutters, "Milovage. I've known him since he was a boy."
But Father, these bones, do they prevent vampires from getting inside the town?
It's the only thing that protects the town.
Because we have seen tonight vampires. They attacked us. Look how pale I am.
And you have a bite mark as well, right?
Right, and I'm also covered in blood.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, you probably look horrible. Yeah, all
Yeah.
of
Black
all
eyes
four
covered in
of you.
blood. Dione's practically dead.
We
Yeah.
must re-sanctify these bones. Drive out the vampires from the town quickly.
Yes. What is the procedure in order to protect the town again?
The bones need to be in their resting place. You're right. It probably broke the seal. We'll get them there tonight as soon as the people leave.
We need to get them there
Now.
quickly.
Why wait till the people leave? We can do it right now.
All is
No.
not well in Vallaki between
I will send them.
you and
I will send them away. No one
Send
knows
them
where
on
the
s-
bones are located. Well,
Send them on some errand.
good idea. So I thought, at least. No one knew where the bones were. I will hide them again under the altar in their final resting place. But perhaps you can tell the folk to leave. What should we say?
The flan is ruined. Quickly, grab ingredients for the flan.
A simple lie? No. Perhaps I should make it a point.
What if we were to lead a grand procession through the night in order to prepare for the Feast of St. Andral? A parade, if you will.
No, I want to see the bones in the location myself.
What if Annika led a procession through the night?
Angelica?
That's the one.
Yes, she is devout. she would do what I ask.
And I've heard she makes a mean souffle.
This is
Indeed.
unorthodox, but perhaps this being a special feast, and especially this year.
Father, these are truly unorthodox times.
All right. I don't want to draw any suspicion.
Well, perhaps you just tell them that the preparations are done.
But they're not. Angelica has a whole list of things to do.
Do any of them require leaving the church?
Most of that has been done. Acquiring the food, bringing in most of the vegetables.
Have Angelica lead the procession, and we'll stay behind and help consecrate the bones and finish up whatever's left on her list. Surely she can be given such an important task as leading the procession.
All right. Follow me. He steps out of the office. He stands up on the altar and he says, "Attention all. Preparations must be put to a halt for tonight. We will continue in the morning. In fact, Angelica, would you do me the honors of leading the first annual Feast of St. Andral's parade?" And everybody's looking quizzically at each other, and Angelica looks up at Father Lucian and says, "Father, are you all right? This is a strange request. It's late in the evening. You know that, well, it's unwise to be on the streets." He looks to you.
All the better reason to host procession now. What better way to show that we laugh in the face of evil with the light of the morning Lord than by leading a procession through the middle of the night?
Indeed. St. Andral protects this town. I think that a processional parade in his name will only strengthen the protection over Vallaki.
Give me a deception checks. I will give you advantage here because Canas is aiding you.
While they're doing that, I want to ping Divine Sense.
I am so deceptive.
Are we both... just him, right?
Just
I can also-
Laurent, yeah.
Okay.
Rufus, read me the description again for Divine Sense. What's the distance and restrictions?
Anything within 60 feet that's celestial, fiend, or undead that is not behind total cover.
This entire church probably would be within that. If you were to stand in the center, right? Or you're probably in front of the
I'll
altar.
go and stand in front of the altar, yeah.
Mhm.
I just look like I'll look like I pray.
Right, so you like kneel down at a pew to pray
Mhm.
and you ping your Divine Sense.
Yeah.
Laurent, you seem to have convinced the congregation that this is a great idea, and despite the fact that the Baron doesn't want people out after dark on the streets or, really gathering late at night, you probably would be okay because it's a religious festival.
And
Angelica
they're all-
says, "If
They're all gathering here in the church late at night.
oh no, in the streets, it's
I
not.
see,
It's
okay.
not good to have a group meeting in the streets after dark." She says, "All right, everyone, our flock will take flight. Laurent, would you do us the honors? March with us?"
Nothing would make me happier than marching with you through the evening hours.
You might be well advised to avoid the Baron's house, though.
I will make sure we don't go that way, but I feel this is a good way to ingratiate myself among the people and right some grievous wrongs I've allegedly done.
I guess the people
Allegedly.
down here probably don't know. I think Angelica was probably the only person who... Oh, no. A lot of people probably know because
Yeah.
Erwin came. Yeah. So, yeah, maybe...
This is my penance. This is penance. This is actively penanceizing.
Yeah. She says, "All right, we'll start at the coffin maker's shop."
Oh,
Just kidding.
so we should start anywhere else.
Do you plan to teleport there? It's pretty
No.
far.
She says
We'll
we'll
start
go
here.
through.
We'll walk down to the morning gate, and we'll walk back, slowly chanting the praise of Lathander, our morning lord.
They all say Lathander. Who's that?
Sorry, it's Neverwinter
Andral.
translation.
The Morning
Paylor.
Lord. The Morning Lord makes sense.
Sorry, Paylor, the morning lord. No, the Neverwinter. You know, our translations get a flippy floppy.
It's definitely not Paylor.
It's not Paylor either. No.
The morning lord,
The Morning
the
Lord.
one that we all know.
Yes.
All
The
will
morning
be
lord in the evening.
well. All will be well.
Oh,
Fly, you fools.
Fly, you fool. All right, so Angelica will lead the procession out of the church. Laurent, you go stride by stride with her. And the door closes. Father Lucian rushes over to the altar, opens the gate underneath it.
Wait,
You call out to him
What?
to wait.
wait. Do I hear it? Or what does my divine sense tell me?
There were none. When it was full of people, there were no fiends or undead or...
Okay. Proceed, Father.
He'll open the hatch underneath the altar and get down into the undercroft with the bones. He needs a light, so if somebody can aid him.
I have no light.
Oh.
Just left with light cantrip. Sorry.
He says, grab one of the candles.
Tinderbox,
grab it.
oil flask.
I'll grab a candle and aid him.
You go down into the undercroft. It's
I'm
dark.
going to.
And again, it's really only can fit maybe a couple people down there anyway. So you squeeze down into the resting place, and he starts to lay out the bones, putting them back into their rightful order. He says, I can't believe you came across them. And what did Milavage have to do with this? This is all very troubling. I fear for the worst.
At least the town will have its protection again. But there are some strange things happening in Vallaki.
We saw strange lights of the Baron's house on the way here.
Strange lights?
Colored lights.
You're not the first person to say that, actually.
Who else
Who
mentioned
else has
this? Milavage.
Yes. Milavage was always talking about those lights.
Hmm.
Other parishioners have come to me and said they've seen some strange occurrences, noises and lights, and I never thought much of it. I mean, it is the Baron's business.
Come to think of it, we have not seen the Baron once since we've arrived here in Vallaki.
Well, you'll see him tomorrow for certain, at the Festival of the Blazing Sun.
Does he often shut himself in his mansion?
He's usually all over town. I've seen him quite a few times this week. Maybe perhaps you're just two ships passing in the night.
Irina, have you seen the Baron?
Irina is there, you're right. Irina is waiting up in the top part, but you can call up to her if you'd like.
Yeah, call up, yeah.
I have not seen the Baron, but I have heard many people talk about him. Vasily actually mentioned that he has encountered him a number of times since he's moved here.
Interesting.
Well, are we all set here?
Are
Priest
we,
is
Lucian?
the priest just looks like he's putting on the final touches. You can see what looks like basically a full skeletal remain in order now. Takes him like 10 minutes or so, and then he'll
Is this
hop
all
up.
Is this all it takes? No prayer?
Not that I'm aware of.
No incandescent glow to let us know that it's working?
Real magic doesn't work that way, he says.
Very well.
Let us go. Oh, can I just look around before we go? Is
Sure.
anything that out of place?
No, you were
Different to
down
how
here
it was
before. There
before.
were some like
It's just the same.
yeah, there was a small little tiny room basically. There were some urns and some maybe some incense, things like that that have been burned in the past.
Okay.
But for the most part, it's just a bare holding place for the bones.
By the way, did Henrik Vandermont have blonde hair?
He did not. He had white hair, like old white hair.
Right. So what's with the blonde hair? Maybe it was on Milosevic's clothing from a tryst with the girl, Anna, or whatever his name is.
Camilla.
Camilla, yeah.
Camilla, it did look like her hair.
It's probably
I
on
think we
his
had
clothing.
established that, yeah.
Okay, let us go.
All right. He closes up the trap door, locks it, secures it, and then looks to all of you. It is done, then. My angels. You've come through.
Right. I'll embrace him.
A hug?
Mhm.
And he'll give you a big hug back. He says, I didn't think we'd have it in time for the feast, but now we do.
I was concerned as well.
By the way,
But,
Freak and Myrtle have been doing nicely here.
Have they?
They've really taken to the routine of church work. They have been under the wing of Yeska, and until today, Milovaj.
Well, you would need a replacement for Milovaj. Irina, do you think Micah would like to stay and help with the church now he is older?
She says, we can ask him next week.
Perhaps Camilla could find a place here at the church.
I don't know that that's a good idea, Father Lucian retorts.
No, I don't know if a church is her place.
She's a common thief, and for all I know, she tainted Milovaj's mind.
You don't know her involvement with the bones.
Are you sure she had no involvement? How
Her
much
only
do you know
involvement
this
was- Her only involvement was helping us find them. If not for her, these bones would not be at their resting place.
And yet, oddly enough, she told you the right way to go. Quickly.
Milosevic was having some kind of relationship with her.
Please do not disparage the dead's name.
Which
Mil-
dead?
Milovaj.
You keep calling him Milosevic.
Oh, Milovaj.
Milovaj.
Milovaj. Millipede.
For all these years that I've worked with Milovaj, not for 1 second did I think that he wouldn't be trusted. So, to me, that girl must have corrupted his mind.
Well, you may be right. Perhaps it's best not to let her in here anymore.
Where is she now?
Is he asking that?
Yeah.
She's the other side of town somewhere.
We must find her. We have to interrogate her. If she knows the remains, where the remains are located, she could do this again.
You mean the bones?
Correct. If she knows the bones of St. Andral are here, and this is the final resting spot, then they're not safe until we're certain that she does not know where they are.
We also need to secure Henrik Vandermalt.
The only thing that she knew was she was able to coax the information as to where to find them out of Milovaj.
Perhaps you don't see, she seems to be playing the three of you. Just like she did Milovaj.
I don't think so, Father. To me, it's quite the opposite, but I understand that you've had a long-standing relationship with this boy, and it must be difficult to hear that he was on the other side.
But the father is right. People who know these bones, they must be made to keep silent. Henrik Vandermont may come back. We don't know what happened to him.
Anyone who knows where these bones are is essentially a threat. And I'm not saying that I want to involve the burgomaster, the baron.
No, well, then he would know where they are.
Correct. And whatever he may do or deem necessary to save the city, he would do, including taking these bones away. So, if he were to find out from Henrik Vandervoort, or by this girl, it could mean the end of Valaki itself.
Well, it certainly seems that a simple lock and a rug over a trapdoor is not enough security for these bones in that case.
What do you suggest?
Well,
2 locks and 2 rugs?
It's nothing that I can do, but perhaps some sort of
Tim like that one.
magical rune or arcane warding.
Yes, well, find the wizard that can cast those spells, and perhaps we could have something here, but I don't have magic of that. I don't have any magic.
Well, give me a night's rest. I'll see what I can do.
You have the capabilities?
I'm not sure.
Truly. Truly
You'll
an
have to
angel,
study.
then. We shall see.
Perhaps we can stay here tonight
You're
to make
welcome
sure
to
everything is safe.
You're welcome to take the spare beds.
I
The
would like to
children,
lie
though.
down now, actually. I don't feel myself.
And he's noticing really now that you're in the light and you got a chance to analyze you. You do look beat.
I must go. I'm going
Rufus.
to go and lie on the bed for a bit, at least a short rest.
Okay. All right, so the two of you are going to go lie... Well, Andrew's going to go lie down. I don't know about Canas.
Well, I guess I'll take a short rest just because I'll get my spells back.
Okay. So you go to take a rest in the back room. Meanwhile, Laurent, you're leading the parade.
Sure are. And we're having a good old time doing it.
Yeah, about a dozen of you are headed down the streets, heading towards the eastern gate and going to... East gate, right? You're going to all the way towards the Ironsage stockyard?
Yeah, all the way down. We're going to come
Okay.
all the way back to, and we're going to take our sweet time doing it.
Cool. All the while this happens, you see people from the Blue Water Inn, from various homes. They start to look out and see what's going on. They don't join you, though, because they know this sort of parade or gathering outside in the streets would technically be against the rules of the Baron. So they watch you as you go by, and now you're passing the kind of like the message board where you saw the stockade earlier, and you see there are still people in there, different individuals, it looks like. But you don't get too far past this point when a patrol of guards comes up to you. Hey there now. No gatherings out in the streets at night. A scraggly bearded guard comes up to you.
Oh,
He's
this
missing
is...
a few teeth.
Good evening. Good evening, sirs. This is no gathering, you see. This is a procession. They're very
Procession.
different, you see. Yeah. A gathering would be staying in one place and causing a ruckus, and as you can see, we have no intention of staying in one place or causing a ruckus of any sorts.
Give me a persuasion check here.
Sure. Persuasion, let's go.
And just call out your number here.
Sure. That'll be a dirty 20.
20.
The guard says, well, by order of the Baron, you need to be off the streets.
I'll tell
What
you
is
what,
this?
we'll head back right that way now, and we'll be out of the streets in just a moment.
What is this anyway? Who are you?
Well, I'm Laurent, and my trusty right hand here is Angelica, and we are processing in the name of the Morning Lord and the Feast of Saint Andral, which I know is gonna get me in trouble. Saint Andral, we're processing in the name of Saint Andral.
Angelica doesn't seem to have a knowledge of who this guard is, but She does like wave and kind of backs you up in a non-verbal way. And the guard looks at her and looks at the rest of the the parishioners and says, "Well, fine, but off the streets. And the next time I see you again doing something like this, Ezek will be warned."
I promise you won't hear from us again. And I'll tell you what, sir, if you have some time tomorrow, I implore you to stop by the Church of St. Andral and try some of the flam we made. It's gonna be to die for.
He'll just give you a blank stare, and he says, "Go on, get."
And I will turn our procession right back around and start heading back towards St. Andrew's.
The guards will start to mill about and wait till you're kind of out of sight before they disperse.
That went. I will look at Angelica. That went so much better than I thought it was going to. Honestly, that is.
She once you turn the corner and start heading back to the blue water, she'll smack you across your shoulder and be like, "I told you this was a bad idea."
We didn't even get in trouble. What do you mean bad idea? It was totally fine.
Those guards will remember us next time. We could be in the stockades. You have to understand, things in Vallaki work different. I'm not sure where you're from, but whether it's a Vistani village or encampment, things work differently for us here.
If everything goes accordingly, you won't have to do this again for another year, and I'm sure by then they will have completely forgotten who you are. Not that I could ever forget you, Angelica, but I'm sure they will.
She says, "Next time, you listen to the people that know the rules. You understand?"
I will do just that next year.
She says, "Anyway, why did you leave the Vistani?"
You see, that's actually a misperception about who I am. I'm not a Vistani. Despite my rugged good looks and overall Vistani features, I'm not one.
She says, "It's strange because most of the Vistani, since I've lived here, stay on the outskirts of town.
Well, that's just further evidence that I'm not a Vistani.
Well, I want to believe you, and I do, but the resemblance is remarkable. You bear most of their features."
I mean, I'm from Neverwinter, simply far from Barovia, and we don't have Vistani there.
There is something about you, though, that looks different. Where are your parents from?
My parents are two farmers. They were, we had a lovely farm in Neverwinter, and they raised me from a young age.
I don't know where that is. Did you like your childhood?
Say it again, I'm sorry?
Did you enjoy your childhood in this land called Neverwinter?
As much as one can enjoy childhood, right? It was a...
Was it warm? Is that why there was Neverwinter?
That's exactly why. It was generally a temperate climate, and working on a farm, it was nice weather. Not as nice as the Gwaindire, I'm told, but it was pleasant all the same.
She says, "Well, it's strange that we see more and more Vistani coming into Vallaki. Almost like since you've arrived, more have come."
It must be your welcoming presence and lovely hospitality.
You see her, and she's just unsure of you. You can tell that she doesn't accept all of your answers. I know you're not lying either, but she seems to feel like there's something missing. Anyway, she'll stop talking about you because she feels like she's being impolite, and she'll change conversation. So souffles. What's your favorite?
My favorite souffle?
And this conversation will drown out as we get back to the church.
Tim Lucas, know nothing about souffles.
So the three of you are reunited. The patrons all go home. The kids come back though to the church and they get ready for bed. They'll share a bed so that they can give you some of the back room space. So discuss.
Wow.
You're basically in private except for the two kids sleeping in the bed next to you.
As soon as we've taken a short rest, I'd like to head back to our home.
Oh, I
Make
thought you were
sure that
staying there
you
for the night. I apologize. Then let's just
I
have you
want
all
to make
talk.
sure the 2 girls are okay, as well as Yune, who's been with them this entire time.
You may discuss then. The 4 of you, you 3 and Irina can talk in the back room then privately. So you say to everybody we should go home.
Bones have been returned. I think going home is. Are we sure we want to? There were vampires right next door.
That is true.
Like a lot of vampires, like right next door.
I will be taking the trip alone if I must.
Can't just wait till the morning. A little bit less vampires.
We've left Yune alone for too long. I've left Yune alone for too long. I am
you think these
concerned about
bones
what may
will
have
be
happened
safe?
to her.
I guess we should find Dione as well, but the bones, you think they will be safe?
That is a good point. It could be a good idea to keep watch on the bones.
I mean, we know at least one person involved in the theft is no longer an issue, and it seems like the second one may well have been eaten by vampires.
Oh, well, I suppose if we're going to stay here, we might as well keep watch.
I think the bones might be safe. I think if we decided to go back and risk ourselves with the vampires, the bones will be safe.
I believe that Rictavio fellow is probably taken care of those vampires.
With the bones installed, they should be vanquished anyway. It's Vandermont that concerns me.
And just
Vandermont.
remind me, weren't we commissioned to kill Isak at a certain point as well?
We're not killing anybody, but commission.
Definitely not.
He keeps control in this place. Keeps things under control.
You believe that he keeps things under control.
Well, I do not know. They do not. They seem a very corrupt force.
Incredibly corrupt. I don't think we should murder him in the middle of the night, but I do think that this town would be better off should he start to antagonize us.
Truly, the Baron also leans toward authoritarian. We were just processing, and they interrupt us and said no processions or gatherings.
I am
What kind of town
concerned
is
about.
this?
I am concerned about the Baron. Again, everyone says that he's been walking around all over the place, but we've seen neither hide nor hair of him, except for the lights, and we've seen these lights in his home.
Well, while we're walking, if we theoretically do walk home, is it worth checking out the lights? Maybe
We will
Dione
see
is there. Maybe the lights are Dione having a party without us, at which point I will be very hurt.
We'll see him tomorrow at the festival. The Baron
certainly
be
will.
there at the festival. I need to rest. I can't carry on.
Irina, who actually, while you're having this conversation, Rufus, you were taking a short rest, right?
Yeah.
You can see Irina, she's actually been preparing some, like, salves and ointments and things like that. And she's been using, like, a little, like a med kit to heal some of your wounds.
Can we count this as a short rest right now, this
Yeah,
conversation?
certainly.
Oh,
She's applying some, like, ointment to your bite marks, and it stings. She's like, I'm sorry, Rufus. You... Looks like you've lost quite a bit of blood.
I have. I feel faint. Feel
She'll
chest
take, like,
pain.
a wet cloth and wipe your head and wipe the blood off your face.
I'll make the most of it a little bit. Oh, yes. That feels so good. I feel strength returning.
She says, I wish I was in there with you. I could have fought alongside you once again.
It's probably
Indeed,
for
you
the
could
better.
have. So, shall we be on our way?
She says, if you want, perhaps, to get closer to the Baron, tomorrow morning we could make an introduction. I am Irina of the village of Barovia. She like straightens herself up. She's like, there's no reason why I can't be myself here if this is to be my new home. Perhaps I should make an introduction.
Well,
And I know we wanted to keep my identity secret, but perhaps it's for the best that we use my fame for something.
Well, let's sleep on that decision. But are we going to stay here or are we going to go back to our house?
We should go back. Micah will not be good throughout the night without me.
Yes, Micah. Let us go, let us go. Let us pass by the coffin shop and see if all is quiet, if Octavio is okay. I believe in him.
Okay, so you want to go back the way you came, basically.
Back the way
Yeah.
we came.
I want to pop in the coffin shop and see what's going on.
are you
Gotcha.
going to go inside the coffin shop?
Yeah, just
Well,
walk by.
Ping a divine sense, see if those vampires are still there, and then if not, go in.
Well, your divine sense won't go through solid
Yeah, that's true.
walls,
cover.
but
Yeah.
Just see if there's still a ruckus upstairs.
Yeah.
You could. Hmm. So you exit the church. You bid Father Lucian farewell. He again thanks his angels for finding the bones and returning what was lost. And it starts to rain outside. It starts with a drizzle, but it's coming down rather regularly now. You walk through the streets. You go down towards the Burgomeister's house. And as you see the Burgomeister's mansion, all dark. Everything completely dark. A flash of purple light illuminates the attic once again. Again, just a flash, and then it turns off.
Irina, you saw that too.
I did.
What is that?
Perhaps some sort of odd firelight?
I have to know. I'm very curious.
I don't know if it would be smart to break into the Burgomeister's house.
Who said anything about breaking in? Come on. You know me better than that. Maybe just a quick peek in the window.
It's the attic, Laurent.
I
How do you
believe you'd
suppose
have
we
to
get up there?
Climb the side of the home.
We need Dione.
As this is why I wanted to head back home.
Let's go back, get Dione, and send her.
Yeah, how long does it take to get from the Burgomeister's back to our house, back to the
Well,
Burgomeister's?
we have. This has been going on. That light's been going on for some time. We have time.
No, but I want to ask
Even,
Bob.
Looking at
feel
the
like-
outside of the structure, is it like climb? Is I imagine like Victorian big wraparound porch, like easy to climb? Or are we talking like a 3-story like flat slide building? It would be like a real challenge to climb.
There are 3 stories to this building. There's a ground floor, a second floor, and this looks like the attic level. I think I described the Burgomaster's mansion to you before, but it's worth bringing up again. The mansion has walls of plastered stone that display many scars where the plaster has fallen away from age and neglect. Drapes cover every window, including a large arched opening above the mansion's double entrance doors. There's nobody outside the mansion right now, but it is gated. You would have to come over the gate. You'd have to find a way to get over it.
Oh, Rufus, give me a boost. I can climb that wall. Just take a quick peek, in and out.
Rufus?
What if the guards see us? I
What
don't
guards?
think-
It's raining. There's no guards.
I'll give them a quick boost, but I'm not coming in.
Okay.
Be quiet. Be stealthy. I cannot be stealthy in this scale mail.
Be careful. I don't think this is wise, Laurent.
Normally I would ask Dione to do it, but I found my partner in crime.
Dione could do this with a flick of her wrist, and it would be no problem at all.
Hey, you trust your rusty bard. It'll be fine.
All right. Laurent, he boosts you up over the wrought iron gate. You're on the grounds of the Burgomaster's mansion. You definitely remember the basic setup of the mansion when you went in the first time. As you enter, there's like well, I guess you're not going to enter the house, but
Try not to go inside.
the front door is where you came in, and you know that there's stairs that go up immediately. So perhaps if you were to use, the side as a cover, you could, go without anybody seeing the front windows.
Yeah, using like the most spatial reasoning, I want to try and get up to the attic as quickly as possible, staying out of sight as much as possible.
There actually is, and I'm not just making this up. There's a tree situated to the right side of the home, on the north side, and it looks like it goes up at least through the second story. Perhaps that would be a good vantage point.
Seems like a great starting point. Yeah, let's try that.
Okay, I'm not going to have you roll a check for climbing the tree, but it is raining, Laurent, so you'll get up there. But if you were to do something other than just climb the tree, it may require a check.
From the highest point of the tree I can get without a check, is it possible to see like more clearly into that attic window, or is it still?
The attic has like one window, like from the front, basically one window. So you'd have to climb onto the edifice and then wrap around to the front again.
While this is happening, are there any lights, or has it just been that one purple flash?
You haven't seen another flash yet.
Okay, we're gonna let's try the edifice quick, and then if that doesn't work, we're just gonna boogie out.
Okay, so you're gonna try to climb from the tree to the wall. Give me a athletics check, and I'm gonna say that if you were to fail, so the check's DC will be, we'll say it's 13. If you were to fail by 5 or more, you're going to fall from the tree and fall 2 stories down to the floor.
I cast guidance on myself before I do it.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna roll my athletics. I'm gonna add a D4. Oh, that's pretty good. It's 17.
17,
So
very
D4,
nice.
It's gonna be an 18.
You gracefully jump from one of the tree limbs and land kind of like on the sloping roof. You've got your hands like up on the what would be like the gutters or something like that. I guess there's no gutters, but like the eaves, and you start to move across. You get to the front of the house now. Now this is the point where you can see him. So I'm imagining you're at the gates, kind of like, a ways away from the front entrance, and you slowly see your friend like sliding his body left, more left to get up to that attic window. But he's there. You can see him dangling from the roof.
There's nobody around, right?
You haven't seen a guard or anybody. The building looks like it's basically the people might be asleep. There's no lights.
As I round the corner, I'm gonna give Rufus and Canas a big thumbs up. Things are going according to plan.
With both hands like that?
No, one hand. Go, one hand on. 3 points contact. Oh god, no.
I'm gonna pull Rufus aside really quick.
Yeah.
Rufus, if you remember what Erwin said about our other companion, doesn't it seem strange that she would disappear on the night before a full moon?
I just look at you and you see realization dawn. We should be careful.
Especially to protect Irina.
You say this away from Irina?
Yeah. Do you think we should tell? Do you think we should tell her and Laurent of this revelation, or do you think we should gather more information first?
I do not think we should have secrets. We'll tell them when we get back to the house.
Very well.
As you finish your conversation, a crash of lightning echoes throughout the entire town. You see clearly, though, Laurent now dangling when the light flashes. He's there. He's at the window. Laurent, you see that the shutters are closed. If you reach out and you extend with one hand, you can reach the shutters. But it's a stretch. You need to give me an athletics check here. It would be this one's a little more challenging, a 15 to hoist yourself to the shutters.
If I was to fail, what would I gather is probably the consequence going to be? Is it revealing I'm there, or just falling off the roof?
you'd probably fall like 30 feet down to the floor. Not to your death, but to the floor. It could be deadly, but it depends.
I hope not. We'll give it a shot.
Okay.
You never get that lucky. 10.
10. Laurent, I have something for you here.
I hope it's good.
So, you may possibly be able to correct yourself, grab onto the ledge, grab onto this shutter, and we'll say that in a flash of lightning, you can hear a voice in your mind, and it says something along the lines of it's a feeling more than anything, but it sends a chill down your spine, and you hear the voice whisper, "I'm here to help you, Laurent. I can guide you." The voice is unfamiliar. It's mostly a feeling. Do you want to
Okay.
let this entity guide you?
I'll trust it. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
What's the worst that can happen? Come on. What do I roll it now?
Possession, that's what's going to happen.
You roll again if you'd like.
Athletics again. Okay. Last night I listened to voices. 6.
Yeah, you fall. You fall down 30 feet. You're going to take 12 bludgeoning damage from the fall.
Oof. Knocks the wind out of me. Does not feel good.
Yeah, you maybe grab onto like something. There's that little overhang at the front door. You kind of try to use that to block your fall. You land on it, you thud, hit that, and then fall back onto the ground. You
Land
see your
flat on
friend
my
there.
back. Wind knocked out of me. Rain
Yeah.
falling on my face.
Irina interrupts your conversation. Rufus and Canas he just fell.
It was a fool's errand to begin with.
He's not getting
he'll
up.
Come back.
Wait a minute. Let's see what he does.
The lights turn on inside the house.
Oh God.
It looks like somebody must have a candle or some small light source.
Which floor are they on?
The first floor.
Hide. I hide
Oh,
ourselves. I
God.
get stuff for people to hide.
We weren't just standing out in the open, were we?
You're at the gate, which is like a ways, down the road.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like a long drive.
I'm gonna
Laurent, what do you do?
get up. Try and avoid. It's like a candle, so it's not like, like glaring light out the window, but I'm going to try and avoid the light as much as possible and then just run back to the gate. As
You run
stealthily as
back.
I can.
Sure. Give me a stealth check then if you want to try to hide through like bushes or something like that.
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah. No, I don't want to be seen reaching into this house.
Call out your number.
17. Of course, 17.
There it is.
Yeah. You can see what looks like a man come out to the front. He's wearing a long red robe. He's got hair, like a tuft of hair in front of his head, but most of his hair falls down to the side. It's rather long, shoulder length or so. He's holding what looks like a small little candle in his nightgown. And you can see 2 big dogs barking. Massive dogs, like mastiffs, by his side. And he calls out into the night. "Who goes there? Show yourself." Canas and Rufus, you are hidden behind, the wall or the gate. You're far away. You're out of sight. But Laurent, you're kind of on the other side of the gate in the bushes. What do you do?
Is the gate look like climbable, or is it like how high is the wall that I jumped over with help before?
It was like a 6-foot wrought iron fence. You could climb it if you'd like, but
I think I would very much like that.
okay. Give me an athletics check to see if you can climb over this. It's slippery because it's wet, so it'd be we'll say a DC 10.
There we go.
We're good, of course. 21.
All right, so you show yourself, reveal your position, and start to climb. And the dogs that were barking, the 2 big mastiffs that flanked him, He says, "Yes, get them, boys. Get them." And you hear the dogs barking and charging down the path.
Oh, I climbed that gate so fast,
You climb the gate, you get over, hop on the other side, you see your friends hiding out of sight,
and I will just run away from them.
and the dogs get to the gate by the time you've made the decision, and they're barking, and you can see their like jowls dripping saliva as they look like they were ready to maul you.
On.
I'm
And
gonna
you-
keep heading back in the direction of home for at least a block away from the house.
Well, you meet with
before
your
I
friends.
stop
You
and
guys
wait.
want to head out?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes.
All right. Back to home. You finally get home. And when you do,
Well,
you're
we
greeted...
wanted to pass by the coffin shop. On the
Oh,
way.
I apologize. You're right. The coffin shop. It looks like there are people at the coffin maker shop. You can see guards positioned there. There are two standing outside of the coffin maker shop, and it looks like there's people inside. It's lit. Nobody else is here. Homes around you have also closed their lights at this point.
Do we see Rick Tavia?
No, you see two guards flanked outside of the shop. In fact, maybe one of them was the one you saw, Laurent. The bearded, toothless guard. Uh-oh. Who we lose?
Oh no, not Michelle.
Oh, we lost the other one. You want to jump back on there?
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Well,
I think
it
we're
seems
just out
the
of
guards have it in control. I think we can. Well, I would like to
There
find
we
out
go.
what happened to Vanderwaal. 1 minute.
Oh, not another one of these.
So you want to go up to the guard?
Yeah.
You see this like bearded guard. He's missing two teeth in front. And he says,
Is,
Hold there.
is Henrik Vandermort okay? We heard
He'll be
noise
fine.
and came out.
He'll be fine.
Where
All
is
will
he?
be well.
Is he in the house?
None of your business. Move along.
Well, okay, it's late. We should go home.
That's
I'll
right. You
just
should.
leave.
And he looks and he sees you, Laurent. He makes eye contact. Hey, didn't I tell you to get off the street? No more processions.
We're going home right now. This is our way.
No, that one. And he says, I saw you before. I told you no more parading through the streets.
This isn't a parade at all. There's only 3 of us.
We are.
Four.
4 of us.
This would be walking home.
We live right there, as like Pandy just said. I'm going home this very second.
I just start moving.
Yeah, start moving.
He says, which house is yours?
The one across the way that's really run down.
Do you point to your actual house?
No, I want to point to my neighbor's house.
What's his name again?
Emmerich,
Emmerich.
Emmerich.
the most important NPC.
He says,
Yeah.
He says, all right. Get on home then. And he
Can
gets
you
back
even
to his
point
position.
that far? Are we close enough to be able to point that far?
We're at the coffin shop.
You
It's
kind
gotta
of
be,
are. Yeah, you kind
Okay.
of
Well,
Yeah.
there we go. Cool.
Okay. So the guards go back to their position. You get back to your house. Obviously, you pretend you're going to Emmerich's house, but then you pop back into yours. You get home, and you see Camilla, who's the only one up at this point. All the kids, her sister, Micah, they're sleeping upstairs. And Camilla, she's like tears down her eyes, and she has a dagger in her hand. And she says, what happened to you? You were gone for so long.
I know. We took a lot of detours.
We heard
You
horrible screams.
coming from where?
I don't know. The streets. That way. And she points towards the coffee maker shop.
Oh, don't worry. That was just Laurent.
It's true. It was just me. I had a terrible fright. Canas jumped out and scared me behind a corner. And I will try and imitate a scream.
I'm not a
Vampire,
child
like-
anymore. You can tell me the truth.
Where's Dione?
She said she was coming back.
She was with you. Oh no. Did she?
No,
didn't.
we haven't
We haven't
seen her.
her.
We haven't seen her since our friend Laurent got all scared by the coffins.
Irina looks to you all and she says, I think we can be honest with her. She's in with this as much as we are.
Rufus?
I love how Rufus has to explain everything.
No, I'm essentially
okay.
asking him to
I'll
cast
open-
Zone of Truth.
Oh,
Well, Camilla. We were investigating what your friend, Milosavage, was up to. And
Oh
he
my
was
goodness.
bringing vampires into this place. So
his
we had
name
to,
was Milovage.
Milovage. We had to fight these vampires and see them off.
Look, I don't know what happened, but everything spiraled out of control so quickly. Laurent, I know it was a mistake and it was an accident, but you killed him.
It may be just as well. He was in league with vampires.
What?
Yes, we had to fight them. That was the noise you heard.
I knew it was something more evil.
We must have possessed him, made him act in that way.
Look,
You heard him utter the coffin maker's name. So something was going on with him and Vandervoort.
I can't imagine that he'd be helping vampires. He must not have known.
Yune, reveal yourself.
Yes, Laurent?
Yes, Canas? And
And Yune is there.
Is everything all right here? Any strange occurrences while we were gone?
we heard the noises, but that was it.
And these screams you heard, about how long ago were they?
Oh, it was frightening. A few hours ago.
Is that in line with when we went there?
I believe so. I thought you'd
Sorry,
be
I'm
back
asking
quicker.
Bob. I'm asking Bob. But sure.
We thought you'd be back when we heard the screams. We thought perhaps you were behind it. And
Well.
we'd be expecting you soon, but hours went by.
There's one more thing, my friends. We have reason to believe that Dione is not here tonight. Because she is in fact a werewolf.
She's
She's a vampire.
No, I misspoke, a werewolf.
Laurent,
Now-
you're hearing this for the first time. How do you react?
Owen told us, the barkeep.
That's a hefty accusation to throw around.
Well, when she comes back, we should discuss it with her.
All I have to say is we should be cautious since, as you can see, the moon is...
Full.
Is it full? You said it was almost full. Bob?
We look
Yes, tomorrow will be full.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
No.
Tomorrow is a full moon.
I mean,
She's
there's no
not
reason
here.
she shouldn't be here tonight.
Maybe she didn't want to take the chance. She obviously has the curse. She represses the curse.
I think you've been in this land too long, Rufus.
We shall see.
All I ask is that you be cautious.
Look at me. I'm always cautious as I'm covered in grass and rain from falling off the roof.
A little more cautious this time.
I'll keep it in mind, but I think we should give Dione the benefit of the doubt.
I would like to, but it is certainly a revelation that I won't take lightly.
No, nor should we.
I believe I am here to help her. It's part of my quest. We must find out if the curse can be reversed.
Well,
And what of Isek?
What
He
about
clearly
Ida?
holds issue with us.
I do not see that.
Well, he wanted to hurt Dione and myself,
Well,
and
that's
he
all
wanted to take Anna back. He's in league with that woman from the orphanage who has a shed with a devilish symbol on the ground.
We have to decide how much longer we're going to linger here. If we will go find Casimir and the Amber Giants, or if we wish to
Indeed.
investigate. the
Irina,
orphanage further.
I know you feel safe here, but
Would you like to come with us, Irina?
there is a lot of things that are very off here in Vallaki.
What do you think we'll do when we leave?
so Irina obviously knows about the cards with the tarot card reading, or the Taroka reading.
Mhm.
And she says, it does sound like Casimir is our fated ally, and that this Amber Temple could be the place that we go to save this land. So if it means making this place permanently safe, then I would like to assist in any way possible. But I think we may be in need of more assistance. I don't
More
think.
assistance from who?
Well, I know that Vasily could probably help us. He has money, he has means, he could perhaps provide us supplies, and you're desperately in need of new armor.
He has armor?
Well,
He
his
has money.
resources, his money. Perhaps he could outfit us for the trip and either join us or...
I stop and think.
I think Vasily's place is here, but his money would certainly be welcome.
My jealousy is fighting with my intense desire for proper armor.
That's great. Camilla says, wait, what is this? A place with giants?
Amber Giants is all we know.
There are giants in the sky.
What are you talking about? What is this? Who's Casimir?
Have you ever even left this town?
I wasn't born here, so I guess I
Mila,
have.
how did you survive in this village before we arrived?
Well, until a few years ago, I was in the orphanage. And then when I escaped, I met Milovaj, and we made a life of it.
What is your plan moving forward?
I don't have a plan. Now that I have
How-
Anna back, I guess keeping her safe is my plan.
And how will you keep her safe? Will you keep her safe here in Vallaki? Will you go elsewhere?
I don't think I want to stay here. Perhaps with you all. I'm very capable of taking care of myself. And my sister, for that matter.
Hmm.
She puts away her dagger with, emphasis. She's like, I've
Perhaps you-
lasted a long time on these streets. I think I could actually be quite useful to you.
Perhaps you could stay with the Dusk Elves with our friends Casimir's Buell.
Tuh, I will not be with the Dusk Elves. I'm not a child. I
Your
will adventure with
sis-
you. I have decided it.
Your sister is a child, no? What of her?
I don't feel safe with your bringing your sister on the road.
Well, until we sort this matter out, perhaps she could stay with the Dusk Elves. She's done it before.
Stayed with the Dusk Elves?
Yeah, when you...
When we went to the Wizard of the Wine.
Oh,
Right.
of course. Of
Yeah.
course.
she says, but if there's a way to defeat evil here in the land, I mean, I want to know what it is. How do you know of this place? Where did you come at this information?
I look at her. I said, we will tell you that in due course, but now we must rest.
She says, well, before we embark on this journey, certainly you'll tell me.
Of course.
I think once we go to this Castle of Amber Giants, perhaps it will be a test for you to see if you can accompany us.
I'll pass any
After.
test.
And once you pass, then we will provide the information.
Fair enough. She puts out her hand, triumphant that she feels like she's won the argument.
I will shake it.
She gives you a big shake, like up and down. And she goes to you, Rufus, to do the same.
Oh, I'll shake her hand very solemnly. I'll look at her.
And she'll stare you directly in the eye, determined, steadfast. And she goes to you, Laurent.
I will shake her hand normally.
And then she'll go to Irina and do the same. Irina says, I think she will be helpful. The four of us, of course, we should find Dione. And then perhaps Vasily. It's quite an adventuring party. I think we could do this.
Vasily's money, perhaps. The man himself belongs here.
She says, well, perhaps we sleep on the decision.
Yes, let's sleep.
Very well.
But with Casimir and us and Dione and I feel
Vasily?
we will be safe.
Certainly a lot of bodies moving around.
Well, let's try and enjoy the festival.
And Dione,
Indeed,
she says.
I would like to meet this Baron. Dione will be back with us in due course.
Should we present ourselves to the Baron? Should we make an introduction formally?
I don't know. It might be good to get to know him based on what he seems like at this festival. Make our introduction afterwards.
You're Camilla. She clears her throat. I've lived here all my life. Don't you want to know what I think of the Baron?
What do you think of the
Of course
Baron?
we do.
Well, she says not my whole life, of course. But I
Yes,
don't remember
not
when
your
I
whole life.
came here.
We're aware.
Well, I'm not too fond of the Baron. Obviously, I don't like Ezek, and Ezek is his right-hand man. I think the Baron's okay, but all of these festivals, it's rather pathetic. He just wants everyone to praise him. And I've heard that if you break the rules, not only can you get put in the stocks, but people say that he takes them down into his personal torture room in his basement.
Does not sound like this man considers that all will be well in Vallaki himself.
Well, that's just what I've heard. I mean, I've never gotten caught by any of the guards.
Well, we shall see tomorrow. I think things will become clearer.
Does he have a relationship with Madame Vermeer?
I don't think I've ever seen him at the orphanage. His wife comes there sometimes, though.
What about Isek?
Isak.
Isek and Madame Vermeer. It seems that those two are buddy-buddy.
I mean, I've never seen Isak until I started living on the streets.
So he never came to the orphanage while you were there.
I mean, I guess if it was of concern, he would come with guards from time to time, but nothing. He would never spend time there, or at least not that I saw.
Well, it
Again-
seems shortly after we rescued Anna, that pathetic woman went straight to Isek.
Well,
Well,
that
he
we
is
can
the head
agree
of the
on.
guard.
She is a pathetic woman.
One of the worst. I feel bad for Bratimir.
Oh, don't feel bad for him. He's just as bad. He scares all the children in the orphanage. Anna was terrified of him, had nightmares.
Well, that place needs to go.
Well, I
He's
don't
like,
think we can
also-
do anything about that, but I would love to see it go.
Well,
But
anyway,
we have more pressing matters to attend to first.
I'm going to go and take my rest.
Yes,
Okay.
I might go upstairs.
enjoy.
Rufus is so tired.
Okay, so we go to bed at this point. So everybody breaks, pauses, and Irina says to Rufus before you go to bed. She
Can
says,
I come?
"No." She says, "Rufus, may I have a quick word with you?" And
Of course.
Camilla goes upstairs to bed, and the two of you perhaps get ready as well. And she says, "Rufus, I get the sense that Canas doesn't like Vasily."
Canas?
Yeah, every time I suggested it, he shot it down.
Well, Henrik Vandermort, the evil coffin maker, said, "Basilia, I'm sorry," in his sleep.
What?
So we worry that Vasily may be involved in some way.
No, this can't be.
This is what it said. This is what he said. "Vasily, I'm sorry."
Did you hear this?
No, this is what Canas told me. So we should be careful around Vasily. Appearances may be deceptive.
But I know him. I'm telling you, you can trust him.
Well, we shall see, we shall see. But we should get some rest. Much as
Yes.
I enjoy discussing Vasily with you.
Perhaps you're right. All right, so she'll go to bed now. All right. You wake up in the morning. What time do you want to get up, everybody? How early do you want to get up? Do you want to stay in? You want to have breakfast in bed? What do you want to do?
Stay in.
I'm not in a great rush to get up.
What
Yeah,
time
pretty
did we go to sleep?
We'll
Pretty
say
banged
just
up.
before midnight.
Before midnight? So probably just before 8 o'clock a.m. then.
Okay.
A full 9 hours.
No, 8 hours.
You get your 8-hour rest. You get your 8 hours. You wake up in the morning, and everybody gathers down in the sitting room and are ready to go for the day. Camilla gets her bag ready. She's got her sister, Anna. You've got Micah, who's now five or six. How old is he now?
6.
6. He's 6 years old. He doesn't remember anything of his previous life, but he has the general knowledge of like the world. You know, he knows how to tie his shoes. He knows those types of things, but his knowledge of his previous life, he does not.
Probably for the best.
Probably. He refers to Irina as mother. This started maybe over the last day or so. Irina has yet to correct him, but she does seem to be a little bothered by it. It doesn't feel right to her. Feels like a lie. She probably brought this up with you, but she lets it go. And she says, "All right, so today we should just lay low and enjoy the festivals. I believe the Festival of the Blazing Sun starts in the afternoon, and the Feast of St. Andrew's is this evening as the sun is descending. I mean, when it would descend. What do you think,
Day
everybody?
of-
Where should we go first?
The day of partying and festivals sounds like a great way to spend the day.
I'm curious to see this orphanage torture chamber place. Guess we could sneak in there.
You want
Hey.
to see the marking under the shed.
Yes. Or we could pay Vasily a visit. Or make sure Vandermort is secure.
Well, just make sure that Irina's present, because if we plan to acquire some funds or a benefactor, you know she will be of import. Maybe we can sell some of these barrels of wine.
Oh my God, you have a
Ah, the
whole you have
wine,
a whole
of course.
We
carriage
have
of wine.
the wine to sell. This is the perfect time. Everyone needs wine at a festival.
All right.
I'd
First
like
of
to have a word with Erwin as well.
Yeah, we never spoke to Owen about, what was it, the birds
wine.
of a feather or something?
The
Yeah,
The
you kind of
keepers
got
of the
interrupted.
feather.
keepers of the feather.
However, I will suggest one thing, and Irina probably will bring it up. If you'd like to get introduction with the Baron, we could present the wine to him as a gift.
Well, we kind of need the gold.
Maybe
No profit in that, yeah.
perhaps one barrel. We may not need the gold after Irina gets all this money from Vasily. I think that was a brilliant idea, by the way.
She says, after a second thought, she looks at you, Rufus. Perhaps it's not best to go asking for money. Perhaps we earn it the old-fashioned way.
Let's go and sell this wine to Owen.
How many barrels do we have? 3, 2?
No,
we have-
like
We have
9.
like 10.
Yeah,
no, it's
9.
like 7.
No,
You
we
gave-
gave one.
You gave one to Zoldar and Evgeny.
Oh, so let's sell definitely most of them, and then we can give one to the Baron as a gift, yeah.
So you head to the Blue Water?
Yeah.
It's an overcast day, and it's been raining on and off throughout the morning, continuation from the night. It makes the walk over a little bit slippery and wet. The bottoms of your cloaks picking up some of the water.
But I want to
When
sit
you-
on the cart.
Okay, you can. There's enough for at least 2 people there.
Me and Irina will sit on the cart.
Okay. The rest of you get drenched.
Yeah.
You head to the Blue Water Inn, and there's people milling about. You can see the guards are out in full force, though. You've never seen this many guards since you've been in Vallaki. Out of habit, Camilla and her sister hold their cloaks up, covering their faces, and they kind of crouch behind the wagon. Camilla will have Anna be in the wagon, hiding, being a little more obscured. You finally get to the Blue Water Inn, and you see Erwin kind of dumping out a pail of water or something out the back door, and he spots you, and he kind of waves, and then he goes back inside.
Oh,
Follow.
Erwin.
I'll jump down and follow him in. Canas, come with me.
You enter into the Blue Water Inn, and
You stay there, Laurent.
you see
I'll hold down the fort
Danica.
out here. Don't worry about me. In the
He
rain.
doesn't. You'll reduce our price.
He doesn't like me, you're right.
Irina will go in with you. Danica and Erwin will greet you from the entryway. And Danica, for the first time, comes at the two of you and says with a more of like a friendlier tone. And she says, "Well, I guess it was only a matter of time. I'm Danica. It's a pleasure to
Okay.
meet you."
Canas. Pleasure's all mine.
Rufus Gwaindire of Gwaindire.
I see your little halfling friend is missing.
Yes, she's not presently with us.
Well, I suppose that's best. I know that Erwin here spoke to you about us, and you about yourselves. I just want to let you know that. I just want to let you know that we want to have allies, not enemies. You understand why I was so.
Cautious.
Pauses. Yeah.
Of course.
Indeed. And we were certainly hoping to continue this conversation because I believe that our hopes are in line with yours.
Our quest could be made easier now by certain provisions. We would like to sell you this wine that we obtained.
Your
Erwin says-
family's wine, Erwin.
Is that from the vineyard?
Mm-hmm.
It is.
From the wizard?
Yes.
The
What a
wizard of
day.
the vineyard of the wines.
I told you, and he looks at his wife, I told you this would be a benefit. So it seems my
We-
father hasn't run out of wine quite yet.
Well,
Not quite yet.
thank Rufus. He made it drinkable.
We'll buy it
Wine
from you,
Lord.
of course. My father usually brings the wine for free, he says.
But we had to pay mercenaries to help us find the way.
Evgeny and Zoldar.
Yes, 40 gold they charged us.
Well, that is their going rate, isn't it? Fair enough. We will cover your funds and give you 40% more.
Let me ask, is there
You're
anywhere one could,
56.
is there anywhere one could buy proper armor around here? I have to scale my album.
They both look at each other and they say, unfortunately, the Baron has outlawed selling of weapons and armor.
But
And
would
what
he have
about in
armor?
Kresk?
Kresk? They both look a little confused. Why? You're going to go all the way there for armor?
Possibly.
Well, I have a feeling that we may come across Kresk before our journey is done.
I don't know, Erwin says, but I'd imagine so. It's got defenses, just like we do. Remind me, has Irina introduced herself as Irina here or no?
I was waiting for Arena to introduce herself.
Me too.
Okay. I know she's been here before, and I think she's been using the cover, Gwen, right?
Gwen.
I think she has not purposely introduced herself here.
But
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it to her as to how she introduces herself.
Erwin's like, we're not defenseless like that village of Barovia. I heard their burgomaster died the other day. Irina is like, son of a bitch. I am Irina of the village of Barovia. And the two of them look at each other kind of perplexed. They're like, oh, my lady, we didn't realize that you kept their company. Yes, it is true. These are my friends. And I'm looking perhaps to relocate here. So I may be a frequent in your tavern. What do you all say?
I just look at their reaction.
They say, well, if this is how it will be, then we're happy to have you. I feel like, though, perhaps you should speak with the Baron, then. He would want to know of other burgomeisters here. Or other leadership
yes, we were just on our way
But first,
with an offering.
but we will go right now. If you would like to give us the 80 gold, we can be on our way.
I believe it is 56.
here. No. You want to sell it for, what was it, 40 gold?
You said 40 with plus 40% more.
So 16 and 40? Yeah, 56, yeah. Good math there.
Yeah.
Okay. They'll do it. They'll pay you the 56 if that's what you accept.
What is this worth to you? I pull out the champagne doula stump.
That's the champagne we haven't had in quite some time. Again, my father usually gives it to us for free.
Well, very well. Then I will enjoy it for myself.
All right, so you sell them the barrels of wine except for the champagne doula stump.
I give the 56 gold to Canas and say, Canas,
I already took the 56
You
gold.
look- you
Oh,
look
okay.
after the money for us. I'm not good with these money things.
Well, that's okay. You're already on credit for 30 gold.
Well, there you go. I paid you back.
Well, the 40 was paid by me to Zoldar and Yevgeny. So you've paid me back 16, and we split that 4 ways, so you've paid me back 4.
Well, you
So you're on credit now for 26 gold.
Oh, the
Well, you
penny
must
pinch.
I
Keep it
walk
in
away.
house.
I start walking away.
I'll say after him, you must keep it on account, my man. I'm not good with these things.
Erwin
Oh,
grabs
man.
you before you leave, Rufus, and Irina and Canas are headed out. And he says, I would be aware. I feel like something is going on here. There was attack down by the coffin maker shop. I'm not sure you've heard.
Oh, and did the coffin maker survive?
From what I've heard, the coffin maker is dead. Our ravens tried to find out what happened almost immediately after the screams echoed through the streets. We tried to get eyes and ears close to the building, but the guards showed up too quickly.
Have you seen Rictavio recently? Rictavio?
Why do you ask?
Was he? I feel he could have been involved.
His room has been quiet. He hasn't come down for breakfast.
Maybe we could inspect it.
Perhaps you could.
Show
What
us
concern?
leaders, lead me the way. We'll see if he is in.
Come with me. He'll take you up the stairs. Canas and Irina, you exit, and you see Laurent there. Rufus did not come out.
Well, I suppose we should be on our way.
Are we
Yeah, cheers.
gonna wait for Rufus or?
Well, it wouldn't do me any well just standing here. So I'll go back into the blue water.
You see Rufus being escorted up the stairs.
Ah, Canas, do you want to come? We're going to see if Rictavio's here.
Not a bad idea.
Laurent,
I'll head upstairs.
what about you?
I'll wait outside, but I'll start. Are there any guards nearby?
There are.
See if I can interest them in a game of cards while I'm sitting here in the rain, waiting.
Okay.
I'm not going in because they hate me in there, and I don't feel like they'll be particularly helpful. But I can make some money out of these cards for sure.
Camilla says, I wouldn't approach the guards, especially on a day like today. They're busy. They may get angry at you.
For a game of cards?
Mm-hmm. The Burgomaster has restricted gambling.
What has the Burgomaster not restricted that I enjoy?
Having fun at festivals?
She says, but my sister and I will play.
I mean, it limits how much money I can take, but fine.
We have money, and she takes out like a diamond necklace.
Oh boy, let's play.
She's like, we may be able to do something here.
We can figure it out, kid. Come on.
So you hop
You
in the
go
wagon
fish?
and you hop in the wagon and start playing?
Oh yeah.
Okay. For the two of you, though, you're headed upstairs. Danica and Erwin escort you upstairs. They have a key that they carry, like a ring of keys. They open the door. They knock first, but had no response. They open the door. You see a small room that contains a bed heaped with wolf furs. Sends a shiver up your spine, Rufus. A footlocker, a tall wardrobe, and a writing desk with a matching chair. An oil lamp rests atop the desk near the journal bound in a red leather jacket.
I go and glance at the journal.
You go over to the journal. It's a bit of faded a bit, but it's in good shape. You open up the journal and you can see writing. Frequent mention, at first glance, frequent mentions of a person named Drusilla. You're not sure who that would be, but you see that quite a bit throughout. Drusilla and I have gone here, gone there, things like that. Everything seems to be relatively normal, like just documenting his days, previous performances. However, you do see some various oddities that have been noted on his travels, like, for instance, a wear-hair child, a boy who transforms into a rabbit on the nights of a full moon, noting of a half-orc woman named Gorbaka who could chew through iron chains, a giant man-eating plant that had the most remarkable singing voice. I believe his name was Seymour. A pair of conjoined goblins, and a small man with no legs named Fillmore Stunk, who could drink whole casks of wine without getting drunk.
Sound like song lyrics.
Well, these are people he's seen on his travels and his performances that he's met.
Does the bedding look disturbed, or?
Perfectly
Neat.
neat.
Well, it seems he must have been back here then.
Either that or
Well.
he hasn't come home. Or, Danica says.
Well, have you been up here since last night?
I would not enter somebody's room The only reason we did this is because your friend says that could have something to do with the murder last night.
We believe he was involved.
How do you know that?
I'll look at them. And I'll say, we, with Rictavio, fought off vampires last night. Henrik Vandermoor's house.
Danica gasps and Erwin grabs her hand. And she says, but the Keepers of the Feather have not found vampires? How is this possible?
Vandermoor smuggled them in crates.
It seems that way.
Were they labeled junk?
Yes.
Well, how
How'd you
would we have known?
Yes, those crates that you have passed so many times in your life, filled with vampires.
No, but she says, we didn't know.
Keep a beak out for them and let us know if you see this Rictavio or any more crates.
This is
We
why
will.
I mention that if the bedding has been made, he must have been back to fix it.
Or perhaps he fixed it when he woke up. Most organized people make their bed or
Well,
have a
that's why.
servant do
Well,
it.
it seems very strange that he would be out of bed in the night, attacking vampires, and turning around and making his bed before he heads over.
Well,
I will-
do you not make your bed in the morning?
I think what he's saying is that if he was like in bed, got up, went to save you guys, that he had to have returned then to make his bed. But Danica will say, I can say one thing about that man Rictavios. Ever since he's been here, he does not have a regular schedule. He comes around quite infrequently.
Strange.
Strange. Well, we shall be on our way.
Good luck. You come outside, and you see Laurent in the wagon with the two girls playing cards. And let's see. Let me give you opposed deception checks.
Say who's
Laurent.
hustling who here?
Yeah, I'll roll for Camilla,
All right.
and she's going to get advantage because her sister's going to be aiding her.
Okay.
She wins.
It's probably gonna win, even with
So-
the plus 10.
So you got a 13, and Camilla it's the classic, like, where she basically is getting insider information from her sister. Like, her sister will get a hand, and she'll hold up, like, 3 fingers, like, up her face, and she's like, I'll bet. I'll bet.
Oh, I bet she will. Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'll raise 10.
She has swindled you out of... Oh, damn. Only 6 gold pieces.
That's
More
that
than you
much.
have.
no. I cleaned up on the guards before we got to Barovia.
All right.
I
That's
will.
true.
6 gold pieces is. I'm not happy, but it could have been much worse.
Well, it's time to cash out here. Your friends are back.
I suppose so. All right, kid. We'll pick this up next time. And I'm gonna win. Don't lose my money.
I won't. She counts all 6 of it. She gives 3 of them to her sister. Okay. Irina comes back as well. With she was waiting for you outside. She said, "So, what happened to Rictavio?"
We don't know. He wasn't there. His bed was not disturbed.
Seems maybe he hasn't been back to the Blue Water Inn for quite some time.
Or maybe he came back early this morning. She says what you said.
Yes, who knows?
So, where to? The festival is not going to start for a few hours.
Well, I suppose we should head to the Burgomaster's, as you suggested.
It's worth going to meet the Burgomaster, yeah?
Bring a gift of good faith. I pull out my other bottle of Red Dragon Crush.
Yes, good idea.
Good faith and good wine.
No, it was your idea.
Perhaps
So,
Rufus and I
good
go
idea.
and speak with the Baron, entertain him, while you pretend to be our escorts, our guards. And she says, would you like to maybe perhaps see if you could find out what was making those flashing sounds?
That could be
Or
wise.
flashing images? Sounds? Sounds don't make noise.
Flashing sounds.
I
Flashing
like
doesn't
the
make
idea. As you are Irina of the village of Barovia, I think it would be best if you present him with this. And I hand her the bottle of wine.
She takes it. She says, I think perhaps we could entertain him for a time. 5-10 minutes tops. Right, Rufus? Tell him
It
stories of
sounds
the
good.
Gwaindire.
Well, it would take more than 10 minutes to tell him of all the Gwaindire.
Perfect. Tell him every single story you know.
While you're doing that, Canas and I will get to the attic and find out what's making the noisy flashing.
Annika says, and what should we do?
Hold down
Well-
the wagon. Make sure no one takes it.
I guess Micah's with you as well, so I could watch the kids for now, I assume. But remember, I'm not a kid.
That's why you're in charge of the other kids. This is how we're proving you're responsible. Like, I just had to watch you, and now you're in charge. This is how responsibility works.
All right.
I will say Camilla is of a shorter stature and certainly can get through spaces more quickly than us.
You have a weapon, right, Camilla?
Of course I do. She points to her dagger.
Have you named this dagger?
I have not. Children name their weapons.
That
Do you
was
have a
part of the
weapon that's
that was
there?
part of the. That was part. I don't even have a weapon.
Put
I don't
away
even have a weapon.
The needle? Ooh.
Needle. It's
that was part of
needle.
That was part of the test,
Ooh.
and you
Ooh.
passed.
This is needle. It's gonna hurt you. All right. So you get to the.
This glowing blade sting. It glows blue, and orcs are nearby.
You get to the burgomaster's mansion, this time in the light of day, and there's guards outside. And they say, well, as you approach, what is your purpose for coming to the burgomaster's mansion?
We're here to see the Burgomaster.
Yes, I am Irina of the village of Barovia. I've come to introduce myself. The guards look at each other and they kind of bow and they say, okay, why don't you go inside and see if he's available? And one of the guards runs in, and shortly after that, you'll be allowed in. The burgomaster's mansion is pretty big. You remember it from before, but this time you're taken deeper into the mansion on the first floor to what looks like a smoking room or some sort of a parlor. The two of you can remain by the main doors. The guards are on the outside of the door, but there's people milling about, servants, people getting ready for the festival. All the wicker baskets and stuff like that are being prepared by the doorway. So Rufus and Irina, you'll head into the parlor, and the two of you are standing in the hallway, the foyer.
What about Canas and Laurent?
The two of them the Canas and Laurent are by the foyer.
No, I'll wink at them as I go in.
Mm-hmm. You see the stairs immediately to your right. That's the first thing you notice. And then servants going back and forth, of course. What do you do, Laurent and Canas?
Could we talk at a level that would not be heard? Like not like whispering, but like there's enough commotion. I mean, like we can. Okay.
Absolutely. You can have a private conversation here. That's a big foyer as well. I mean, it's like a friggin' mansion. So you imagine this huge stairwell going up. People busy and moving around, carrying goods, things like that.
Canas, what do you think is the best way to sneak in? Could Yune do it? Do you
Well,
want to do it?
I think Yune could scout ahead, but I think I'd prefer that Yune stay within range of my communication.
Would you be comfortable sneaking in if I made you a little bit smaller?
I think that could work.
Because I can potentially make you exactly half of your current size, and then you and Yune could work together to sneak in.
That could work.
And I
Might be
also I pull out my handy dandy makeup disguise kit, I could make you look like one of these. Are there any dwarf or halfling helpers? Is anyone who looks a child servant? I can make you like a child servant.
They're all humans. There's no children servant.
Well, I can make you look like a servant. If that would be helpful.
Are there any 3-foot servants?
Is it a disguise kit?
I've got a disguise kit, and then I also have the reduce spell.
The reduce spell, of course, would make him smaller, but he would look proportionately smaller. Like, he wouldn't look like a child. He would look like a human shrunk down to small size.
Exactly like a servant would look.
I don't know about that.
Right? Come on.
Well, it's up to you.
I think I might just try to wander a bit and have Yune move around within range, but if I'm turned away, then I'm not sure how to proceed.
Well, why don't you do that, and I will do my best to stay in touch with the message cantrip, and we'll figure it out as we go.
Great. I'm going to go to a
Rufus-
servant and say, could you please show me where the upstairs bathroom is?
The bathroom? Do you mean a washroom?
The upstairs, yes, washroom.
Well, we have a washroom down here, but if you're looking for the gallery, because that's what most people come here for, I could show you where that is upstairs.
Perfect, thank you.
Of course. The burgomaster has an open door policy, remember.
Lovely.
Hint, hint. Just kidding. But literally, that is actually the policy. I think you were told that.
I turned back to Laurent and I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the gallery.
Let's go check out the gallery.
The
Let's check out the
burgomaster has a open door policy, and I think you were told this at some point. The first time you even came here, you just literally walked in. It was kind of
Baroness.
alarming that the guards were out there, but that could maybe be because somebody
festival.
assailed this place last night.
What? Who would do such a thing? Let's go
But
check
anyway.
the gallery.
You go upstairs. The staircase climbs 20 feet to a beautifully appointed gallery that continues towards the west, running almost the length of the mansion. Framed landscape paintings line the walls, and red silk drapes cover a 10-foot-tall arched window of leaded glass. While you're up here, you can see like another stairwell that goes what looks like it must be up to a third floor. However, that's more isolated at the end of the hallway. There's a whole row of a wing of this house as well that you haven't explored, with like bedrooms and things like that.
Out of
Is Yune with
curiosity,
you
are
invisible right now, Canas?
Yune is invisible.
With you right now, right?
Yes.
Sure. You hear thumping of footsteps coming up, and you both like turn to look at the art or something, but you see Ezek, his massive hulking form, coming up the stairs alone.
totally engrossed in art. And are the landscapes, do they reflect like Barovia as like a cloudy and dark place, or are they landscapes that are like more illuminated and sunny?
It looks like perhaps the lands of Barovia, but with sun.
Okay, and I'll point that out to Canas, and as we're analyzing this art, I'll just say, isn't it an interesting choice that they've chosen to include the sun in these paintings when there's actually no sun outside?
That is strange. Are we in the gallery, by the way?
Yep, it's a big long hallway, and another hallway that shifts off to the side is where like looks like I said, a row of like bedrooms and like private rooms. There are some people up here, servants moving around, carrying linens, things like that. Ezek goes to one of the hallway, with the rooms, the private quarters, takes out a key and opens the door and enters.
Follow him.
Follow Ezek? No.
And if you see anything strange, come right back.
Canas, please. He's scary.
Oh. All right, Yune, fine. You can stay.
All right. Thank you.
So Ezek goes in and closes the door. Andrew.
With him
Go
gone,
ahead.
can we go to the end of the hallway where the next staircase up is?
Yeah.
You could, yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely like to do that, please.
Okay, great. Andrew, you enter into a parlor, a den, something of that sort. In this area, you can see padded chairs and couches line the wall of this cozy, carpeted room. It reeks of pipe smoke, and mounted on the east wall is the head of an angry-looking brown bear. You and Irina are seated in this room, waiting for the Baron.
Is there anything to nose about him? Any bookcases or anything like that?
There's no books here, no bookcases, but the bear, though, is like really off-putting. It
Okay. Inspect it.
looks like it would be designed to unnerve people. It's like basically a bear with a contorted face, looking like it's roaring. It does look like this place is frequented quite a lot, though. The chairs, although they are nice, look like they have plenty of use. And like I said, the pipe smoke.
It's like a meeting room.
You
Okay.
notice something on the bear head, though. You wanted to analyze it, right?
Yeah.
It looks like there's an inscription on it, and it says, to the Baron, for the families of Zoldar Gigorovich, and, that's it, from Zoldar Gigorovich.
The bear head is from Zoldar.
Your
That's
friend.
lovely.
The door opens, and a man walks in. I actually described him last night. A poofy tuft of hair spilling over his forehead, and then about shoulder-length hair, rather straight. Almost like a mullet-like. But he comes in, and he's wearing the robes of the burgomaster. And he says to you, "You there, Irina, of the village of Barovia. Is this true? You've traveled all the way here." And she stands up and says, "Yes, this is I, Irina of the village. I come to you for an introduction. My father is dead." "I've heard the rumors," he says. "I was hoping that they were untrue, but you will be taking his place?" And she says, "Well," and looks at you, Rufus, "not quite."
I believe your brother has that honor.
"Perhaps he does," she says. "This is Rufus, of a place called the Gwaindire."
So I'm Rufus, Gwaindire of the Gwaindire.
He shakes her hand.
I'll shake his hand.
The
What's his
Gwaindire.
handshake like?
It's like a wet fish.
No.
He says, "I've never heard of this place." "Tell me everything about it." And he sits down and lights up a pipe.
Oh, well, I'll tell him all about the Gwaindire, the Golden Valley.
So this goes
Primary
on.
imports and exports. Primary exports are wheat, sheep, wool.
Yeah, so this goes on, and you have your talk.
We need to. There's not good stone quarries in the area, so we do need to bring in stone quite often.
You start with the
Cut
stone
down.
quarries, huh? That's how you
Yeah.
tell people about the Gwaindire? You start with the stone quarries?
Well, I tell them the economic background. And I tell them about the joy of Castle Resplendent in Gwaindire City. The way the sunlight sparkles off the river what's the river called again? The river
Gwain?
Gwain, yeah. Yeah,
River
the
Gwain.
River Gwain.
So you're having this
you should see it.
conversation. Hold on a second. You're having
One
this
day
conversation.
Irina will see it with me.
Irina will see it with you one day. You're
Mhm,
right.
Yeah.
Upstairs. You go to the end of the hallway. You see, it looks like there's like a doorway up to the attic. Would you like to open that door?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The large attic is full of old, forgotten things draped in white sheets. Piled around them are barrels, crates, trunks, and old furnishings covered in cobwebs and dust. But you see a clear footpath through the maze.
Now, Laurent, don't open anything marked junk.
I was gonna say it's anything about junk.
Absolutely not. You cannot pay me enough to open any junk in here. Like it looks like things are relatively like there's a layer of dust, but there's a clear footpath.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's follow the footpath. Like to follow the footpath.
You follow it, and it takes you through the top of this attic. You can sense that you're now traversing backwards towards the front of the house. Eventually, you get through the maze, and you see that there's a room at the other end. Someone has carved a large skull into a door. This door looks like, again, it's partitioning the attic, basically. This must be where the light has come from. Hanging from the doorknob is a wooden sign that reads, in all capital letters, "All is not well." And you hear a young man's voice from behind. And that is where we're going to pause it.
Oh, from behind the door or behind us? Like
Behind the door. Behind the door. So,
I have one question before we pause.
yeah, please.
Does the Baron show an interest in the Gwaindire? Like a genuine interest?
Yes, he does.
Okay.
Yes, he does. Who wouldn't want to know about the Gwaindire and all its quarries and fields of wheat and rivers of azure
After
goodness?
we finish Curse of Strahd, I'd like to make a homebrew campaign just set in the Gwaindire. I'm really.
Donnicott Mill.
I think that is the next.
It'll be like Farmville, though, with no fights.
I'm okay with that.
I think that's our next campaign. Is
Nothing bad happens in the Gwaindire.
keep on the Gwaindire. Everybody, thank you for watching for us tonight. It was a fun one. A lot of intrigue, some answers, but many more questions. Appreciate all the support. As we said, check down in the description for links to Patreon. You could get the map. You can also look and see for the child chart and all the other resources that we're using. Next week, we should have Michelle back. And I cannot wait for the Festival of the Blazing Sun and the Feast of St. Andrew, which feels like it's been a long time coming, don't you think?
It sure does.
And you made some cash, I see, as well. So
Not that much.
Not
Awesome
much.
cash too to kids.
More to come, and more here on the channel. See you all tomorrow for Viral, and then next week for Curse of Strahd, episode 20, the landmark, if you can believe it. We'll see you all on the tabletop. Have a great night, everybody. Peace.
See ya.